Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. It's another weekly update, and I just want to take a few minutes to talk about building a healthier relationship with food. If you've been following along, you know for the month of April, I did not weigh in. Now it's May, a new month. And there were pros and cons of not getting on that scale during the month of April. More pros than cons. The pros, of course, were my mindset was a lot better. My mood was better. I felt more positive about continuing on this weight loss journey, and I also really got into my exercise again with a whole new energy. Mainly because I took the calorie burn out of the equation. And now I'm exercising for building muscle, maintaining muscle, my vitality, my flexibility, my mobility, balance, and cardiovascular health. It's not about burning calories. It mean calories mean nothing. It's I'm working out for all the benefits to my body, to my mind. So that was a real positive. The con, of course, was I felt myself slipping when it came to food and portion sizes and kind of doing that little, well, I don't have to weigh in, so I could have a little bit more of this and then I'll take care of it tomorrow. I'll rein it back in, the little lies we tell ourselves. And real quick, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Susan, and I'm documenting my journey to lose 80 plus pounds. I use the Weight Watchers app for my program, but I am not a doctor, nutritionist, or fitness coach. I am definitely not a substitute for professional medical help. I'm just sharing my experiences, insights I have, and I'm bound and determined to get this weight off once and for all. This has been a 50-year struggle. My first diet was at 12, but I was told I was chubby and fat as a child, but that was back in the 70s. Very different standards. If I look at pictures of myself when I was a kid and a teenager, or, a little kid and a teenager, and by today's standards, I was a normal sized human being. But 1970 standards were very different. And people were very vocal about how you looked and the shape of your body, and that they didn't care about hurting your feelings. It's not like today where, you'll get blasted on social media, canceled, lose your job, and be called all kinds of names. Very different world. But it left its mark for sure. And so yeah, that's what I'm documenting here on this channel. And so for the month of April, I didn't weigh in. I did weigh in May 1st. And I gained weight. Yep. I gained weight. I gained 4.4 pounds. So of course, I'm like, once I saw the truth, I'm like, okay, well, it's time to get back to your weekly weigh-ins and keeping an eye on your portions and your snacking. And this Thursday, this morning, I weighed in and I am down 2 pounds. So down 203.7. So getting back into the usual rhythm of things and being more conscientious made the scale move. And I have been stuck. And I was beginning to wonder if the calorie deficit I was in is really too close to maintenance at this point, because I was like eating around 1,600 calories a normal day, 1,650. Sometimes it was lower, but I was always closer to the 1,600. And I went back over every single day, 7 days of eating, to see where my calories were. And I was about 1,400. That was the average for last week, and the weight moved. So you know what? I'm just going to go with 1,400. It is what it is. I know there's a lot of information out there about you should be eating more and eating the max calories and being in moderate deficit. But yeah, when I eat more, I gain weight. And I wasn't having like 2,000, 3,000 calorie days in the month of April, I may have been up around 17, maybe 18, which should be maintenance according to all those TDEE calculators that I plug into, even for sedentary. But yeah, I gain weight. So yeah, I'm sticking to the 1400. But behaviors around food. Now, I'll give you an example of today for me. I had a haircut appointment in the afternoon, and then I wanted to go. The food store's real close by where I get my haircut, so I'm like, let me pick up a few things at the food store. And I hadn't had lunch. I had a very decent breakfast. But I was thinking about it when I was in the store. I'm like, well, what do I really want to eat? And I really wanted just a good deli sandwich with macaroni salad. And of course, now I'm standing there and I'm like, well, that's going to be high points if you have it the way you want to have it. And then I'm trying to calculate in my head. I'm like looking for high fiber, low carb, one of those wraps or light bread, that bring the points down. And then I'm like, well, I should really get reduced sodium turkey and stay in, but I really wanted like honey ham and a good turkey. And then I'm like, well, no, you got to find some low fat cheese. And I'm like, this is what I go through. I'm like, I want just a good deli sandwich. And here I'm going through all my rules to make a substitute so I could fit in points and keep that low. And this is what I do. I find these substitutions and they don't always scratch the itch. And then what happens? You just have that unsatisfied feeling, and then you start grazing because you can't quite fill that void, and then you end up eating more because maybe if you just ate the thing you wanted, the craving would be gone. So I picked up. I love sourdough bread. I really do. I love that. I'm really tired of eating cardboard and light, and I got that, and I picked up honey ham because I enjoy honey ham, and I picked up a maple, infused turkey breast, and instead of getting low-fat Swiss, I got sliced Gouda. I'm a cheese fiend, I love sliced Gouda, and I got my macaroni salad. I'm like, "Yeah, I know that's points, but I really enjoy that with a good sandwich." And these are the things I go through, trying to find that substitute, try and then I was like, well, I don't have any ice cream in the house. And I do like to have ice cream once or twice a week, treat myself and fit that in because I am trying to normalize food. So I'm standing there in the frozen foods for the ice cream. And there's the Halo Top and there's the Yasso bars. And yes, these are the lower point, lower calorie, lower sugar, healthy, better choices. And I've had them both. And I'm like, I don't enjoy them. And I then after I eat them, I'm not satisfied. Just want something else because I want the real thing. So there's these Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches that are really tasty, but they make a little junior version. So it's just a smaller ice cream sandwich, and it's 110 calories for one little sandwich. I pick them up. I know I enjoy them. I enjoy the flavor. They're very satisfying. So I'm going to eat the real thing. And that's, kind of where I am. I'm thinking about all those rules I have. And another rule that you're supposed to have the 3 meals and 2 snacks. Don't let yourself get hungry. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I know I've mentioned in other videos that I've been having a lot of problems with like bloating in my stomach, and the past 2 weeks I've had digestive issues and my stomach's sticking out really far. So there's been a couple days this week where I wasn't into eating lunch. I just felt kind of gross. So I skipped lunch, and sure enough, I started feeling better, like the bloat started going down, because in the morning it's not there. Um, and I'm like, I'm trying to force cottage cheese, protein. I'm trying to force in, getting all this fiber in. And I'm not so sure my oatmeal and chia breakfast is the best breakfast for me. I know I get a lot of fiber out of it, but when I have my eggs and either potatoes or slice of toast, I go for hours and I feel good, and my stomach feels good and flat. I eat my oatmeal with my fruit and my PB2 powder, and I'm sorry, but I'm just I blow it out. So something's not right. So yeah, I'm from this point on, I'm just going to be eating eggs for a while and see if that helps. But this is the thing, challenging the rules. And you know what? If I'm really not hungry, I'm not going to eat. I don't care if it's dinner. I don't care if I haven't eaten since breakfast. If I'm seriously not hungry, my stomach's just like, nope, not today. I'm going to honor that and not eat because I'm always so obsessed with eating because yeah, oh, you don't want to go in starvation mode and screw up your metabolism. Well, maybe my body's trying to tell me like, we got enough on here to feast off us. So chill out and we'll let you know when it's time to refeed. So that's where I am. Now I understand it. You may have medical issues where that's not what you can do. You have to keep your blood sugar steady and by all means follow the guidance from your personal physician, not somebody on YouTube. That is not a doctor or a nutritionist and has no degrees in anything like that. Um, like I said, I am just challenging all the rules, and that's part of, building a healthier relationship with food. My husband got me this little board behind me to put like affirmations and goals on. And the one thought that came up to me is a belief I've had for so long is I can't trust myself around food. And that's been my mantra, and I've bought into that. I tell myself all the time, "Well, I can't be trusted around that. I can't be trusted around that." And I it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm like, "Well, I can't be trusted around that." And sure enough, if it comes near me, I have to go crazy. So I'm challenging that. I have it changed. I can trust myself around food. Right now, it feels like a lie. But the only way for that to be true is every time I have an opportunity, I have to take that moment to really sit with that uncomfortableness of it, of it's just food. And these are the beliefs I've accepted that I can't be trusted around food, that I'm the fat girl, that I have no discipline, I have no drive, I'm a failure, all these things, and then the rules. I mean, I still fall for clickbait. I lost X amount of pounds in 6 months, and this is how you do it. And well, let's see, you just cut off this entire food group, and you'll lose this weight too. And every time I find myself being drawn into that, I step back and say, well, okay, well that worked for them, and that's awesome, but can you live with that? And most of the time, the answer is no, not for me. And that's what I just want you to find what works for your particular body. It's not one size fits all. What I eat may really not be good for you. And I'm test driving everything. And with the stomach being bothered, I'm like thinking maybe I need to lay off that cottage cheese. I know it's everything on YouTube is cottage cheese, cottage cheese, cottage cheese. But I have had issues with dairy in the past, and it seems to be rearing its ugly little head. I'm good with hard cheese, but cottage cheese for cottage cheese. Um, Straight milk, I seem to have issues with again. So I'm going to have to kind of rein that in. I seem to be okay with yogurt, but I think I'm just going to keep things very simple and try and get this stomach thing worked out. I think I've just over dairied myself, trying to up my protein and adding in the cottage cheese. And so I'm going to rein that in just a wee bit. But um, yeah, that's where I am. I gained the 4.4 pounds for April, but now it's coming off, so down 2 pounds. And I am just going to be spending some time this week challenging and reviewing my food rules and my relationship with every single food I eat. Is it neutral? Is it charged negatively? Is it positive? And I'm not going to eat something I don't like if I really don't enjoy it. But it's been kind of ingrained in my head. This is what you should be eating because this is what's the healthier choice. But I really don't like it. I'm not going to eat it. There's so many other things that are really good and nutritious that I do enjoy. So why not focus on those? And, one of those things is I really don't. I eat brown rice, but do I like it? Nope. I like my jasmine rice. So I'm just going to eat my jasmine rice. I do have some brown rice I got to get rid of. So I may do a mixture of jasmine and brown just to get rid of it. This food's not cheap nowadays. So that's where we are. Thank you so much for watching. And I know this has been kind of long and rambling, but think about your relationship with food and where can you improve it? What rules do you have that are just utterly ridiculous and not helping you out? Everybody's got their things, and I've spoken in the past about, the one banana a day rule. Like for some reason, two bananas is too much, but I don't have that same charge when it comes to a whole package of Oreos. That voice doesn't chime in, well, you shouldn't eat more than one Oreo. It's like it's a free for all, but then we go back to where I want to be with I can trust myself around food, even Oreos. And sometimes that may backfire. But the only way it's going to change is if I keep confronting it and sit with all that uncomfortableness around it and realize it's just food. Two Oreos, that's it. Why do I need the whole package? I don't need the whole package. So I don't have all the answers. I'm working things out as I go, and I really appreciate that you're here and listening. Um, Thank you so much. And if you're enjoying content like this, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.